One Zambia, one nation, and welcome to ZANIS News. We look at the top stories in the news. Government clarifies FQM maize transportation. PSMD consults stakeholders on public service examinations. Government distributes anthrax vaccine doses to Eastern Province. Plus ZANIS to rehabilitate Kaunda Square School football ground. With the main news in detail, my name is Margaret Kangwa and my sign language interpreter is Imelda Mulia. Now, President Hakainde Hichilema says the government has spent over $1 million in actualizing the constituents' development funds at all levels. President Hichilema said this when he officiated at the Local Government Association of Zambia Joint 68th Annual Conference and the 21st Alliance Initiative for Community Action on AIDS at the local level General Assembly held at Mulungushi International Conference Center. Mr. Hichilema encouraged the over 600 delegates and stakeholders in attendance to work with vigor as decentralization is government's long-term plan. And Local Government Association of Zambia President Vincent Lilanda commended government for its commitment to strengthening decentralization at all levels. Meanwhile, U.S. Acting Deputy Chief of Mission to Zambia, Katrisa Bond, says the U.S. government is investing over 1 million kwacha in local governance programs across the country.
The resource envelope is growing. When we took off a CDF per constituents per year was 1.6 million kwacha. What would you do in 1.6 million kwacha? So I'm wondering what the councils were actually doing and how they were doing it. When we were in opposition, we promised you that we will deliver CDF exponentially, increase it exponentially. That time I was using a figure equivalent to $1 million per constituents per year. There can be no central government without local government. Absolutely none. But local government also works with central government because that's the structure of our constitutional democracy. That's the way we govern ourselves. We elect leaders, councillors, we elect council chairpersons, mayors, we elect members of parliament, we elect presidents. This fellow is talking to you here was elected by yourselves. And together we are a package.
U.S. government is investing $50 million, that's 1.3 billion kwacha, in governance programs, complementing support from the German Agency for International Cooperation, the World Bank, the United Nations Development Program, and others to advance financial management reforms, improve domestic revenue mobilization, and train district and provincial government leaders.
The recent increase in CDF allocations presents both an opportunity and a challenge. While it provides more resources for local development, it also requires careful coordination and alignment to enhance the overall coherence of local development efforts, to prevent duplication of projects and ensure more efficient use of resources.
Now, Minister of Information and Media Cornelius Moitwa has clarified that First Quantum Minerals has been allowed by government to transport maize from Tanzania into the country following the huge freight of trucks the company has. He has dispelled claims by some circles of society that the award of the contract to the company was corruptly done, stating that so far the maize has started arriving in the country and currently stored at Kapirimponshi Depot. He was speaking at a joint press briefing with Minister of Labour and Social Security Brenda Tambatamba and Minister of Mines and Minerals Development Paul Kabuswe in Lusaka today. We have the details.
Let me also now take this opportunity to update the nation that the maize being imported from Tanzania has begun to arrive in the country. Every day now, for a few days that have gone past, truck loads are entering the borders of our country through Nakonde border, carrying maize which Zambia or as government imported to mitigate the food challenge situation in the country arising out of this drought. The trucks hauling this maize are bringing this maize into the depots at Kapirimposhi. As I update the nation on this particular very important issue, to indicate that the main transporters of this maize are First Quantum Minerals Mining Company, using their trucks, and government reached a decision to award First Quantum Minerals the opportunity to transport or to haul this maize from Tanzania into Zambia because of two factors amongst many. One, they have a reliable, huge fleet of trucks. That's number one. Number two, these trucks are transporting or hauling copper from Zambia into Tanzania. And when they empty the copper, they have been coming empty to come and collect copper back into Tanzania. And so, being a prudent government, it was seen as an opportunity that First Quantum Minerals are engaged to utilize their trucks, because then they are just charging government for one route, which is from Tanzania into Zambia, and not charging government for their trucks moving from Zambia into Tanzania and back. It was a prudent decision in line with the prudence of President HH and the New Dawn administration.
On the other hand, Minister of Information and Media Cornelius Muitwa says law enforcement officers are making headways in ensuring that Petauke Central Member of Parliament Emmanuel Banda, who escaped from lawful custody, is found and faced justice. Mr. Muitwa, however, says the whereabouts of the Petauke lawmaker is not yet known, but will be pursued and treated like any other person or escape. And speaking at a joint press briefing with Minister of Labour and Social Security Brenda Tambatamba and Minister of Mines and Minerals Development Paul Kabuswe in Lusaka today, Mr. Muitwa observes that Mr. Banda's escape from lawful custody justifies his moral standing in society. And speaking at a separate press briefing, former Minister of Justice Winter Kabimba has called for heightened probe into Petauke Central lawmakers' wrongdoings, adding that the syndicate or sponsors behind his misdeeds must be brought to book.
As the nation knows, Emmanuel Banda, MP, who was receiving treatment in hospital in Chipata, escaped from lawful custody some 3 days ago, and his whereabouts remain unknown to date. I would like the nation to know that the security agencies are making headway in the manhunt and pursuit for Emmanuel Banda to bring him back to lawful custody. This matter will be followed to the latter, and the government is deploying all available means and resources to ensure that he comes back. This is because he is a citizen of this country, and as a person who is under lawful custody of the state will have to work to ensure that his presence is secured in this country. And I would also like to demystify a notion that Emmanuel Banda, MP, is being treated differently, or that his search will be different from any other fugitive.
This is a syndicated project. JJ is not alone in this. He doesn't have the capacity to do what he has done. There's a network behind this.
And also speaking at the same press briefing, Minister of Labour and Social Security Brenda Tambatamba has refuted claims by some members of society that lives were lost in the operation conducted on the illegal mine in Kasempa district by the law enforcement officers. Ms. Tambatamba has clarified that the law enforcers were asked to remove about 2,000 illegal miners who have invaded a gold mine owned by a license holder in Senior Chief Kasempa and Igwe Chiefdom.
The law enforcement officers who had been patrolling the area and trying to restrain the invasion for quite a bit of time, as I indicated that it had been going on for a while, and law enforcement officers were visiting the area to warn the miners of the area, having consultation and dialogue with them. So there was quite a bit of dialogue there. So eventually, the law enforcement officers were deployed to remove the illegal miners who were trespassing on this mining licensed property, because it was apparent that now the area, Kasempa, had received more than over 2,000 people who had come to prospect and to collect. So more than 2,000 coming from everywhere within Zambia, and indeed beyond Zambia, beyond the borders of Zambia. Other nationalities also were detected in the area. So here, what moves this government to deploy now to evacuate the location is basically the rule of law by which we came into governance, amongst others. Of course, economic empowerment. We knew with economic development or prosperity, and indeed this we intended to do through the rule of law across all sectors. So in this case, you would understand that the Public Order Act is abrogated somewhere. In this case, at the same time, Mines and Minerals Act, that law also is abrogated.
Government felt they needed to reinforce, the fact that this government is intolerable to illegal mining. I think that 3 weeks ago, His Excellency the President in Mumbwa even announced the task force that has been formed to specifically deal with issues of illegal mining. You will understand that this government, like my colleague said, was elected on one of the premises on which it was elected was transparency. Why you are seeing a lot of these things is because this government has nothing to hide. When something is discovered, it is all for everyone to see. We had colleagues who were discovering things and hide them from the public. This government is open about it and we have nothing to hide.
And Minister of Small and Medium Enterprise Development, Elias Mvanga, says he will ensure the statutory instrument number 35 of 2021 that seeks to increase the volume of cargo from the mines transported by local transporters to ensure empowerment of local transporters is enforced. And speaking in Kitwe when he met local transporters, Mr. Mvanga says mining is a key sector in the development of the country. As such, it should significantly benefit local people and ensure that its proceeds also circulate locally. And Copperbelt Open Truckers Association chairperson Benson Tembo bemoaned the high number of foreign companies masquerading as Zambian companies and gating the larger transporting business at the expense of genuine Zambian companies.
I just wanted to clear in the air once again to say, government did not give a contract to First Quantum. First Quantum, they offered to transport, I think about 4,000 metric ton of maize. They offered to the government, and it will be on for 2 months. And the association, Truckers Association, have been reached out by our DMMU this week that the rest of the tonnages, we need to engage with them. This is where I was saying joint ventures are very important. The association must quickly move in and find partnerships, because this is a huge tonnage and would want the Zambian transported to benefit. Those who may not have capacity, this is where the joint ventures comes in. The government has procured over 600,000. That's a lot, eh? Yeah. Now, only 4,000 will be transported by First Quantum, and that was an offer to our government.
Well, we now take our first break. We'll be right back shortly for more stories. Stay tuned.
The Issue is a program that looks at topical issues happening in the country. Watch The Issue every Friday at 19:30 hours, only on ZANIS TV, Channel 6 DTT and Channel 458 DTH on Topstar. Don't miss.
Welcome back. We continue with the news. And now the Public Service Management Division, PSMD, has successfully held stakeholders consultations on the public service examination and certification draft strategy in Muchinga province. Now, Provincial Permanent Secretary Henry Mukungula says the public service examinations will help civil servants to execute their duties professionally. Details by Henry Lumpa Jr.
Following Vice President Mutalena Lumango's pronouncement of the reintroduction of examinations for public service workers upon entry and before promotions, the Public Service Management Division PSMD has embarked on sensitization programs with public service workers on how the examinations will be conducted. In Mchinga province, PSMD has officially launched the public service examination and certification strategy in a bid to enlighten civil servants on the importance of the mandatory examinations. Mchinga province permanent secretary Henry Mukungule, who chaired this meeting, explained that the examinations are meant to enhance good performance in the civil service.
This has been reintroduced. It means that all civil servants will have to undertake some training. So I want to call upon you to concentrate, and I'm sure after you've undergone through these trainings, you'll be a better civil servant. You'll be able to serve our people, our republic, in the best manner that you can.
Meanwhile, National Institute for Public Administration, NIPA Acting Executive Director Elliot Mumba highlighted on the benefits of the mandatory examinations.
The strategy aims to have a transformed public service with a well-trained, competent, high-performing employees delivering quality and efficient services to the people of Zambia through mandatory examination and certification.
These mandatory examinations for public workers are expected to begin next year. Henry Lumpa Jr., ZANIS, Inchinsali, Muchinga Province.
And also in the news, the early warning for Southern Africa co-production and test beds 2 preparatory co-design workshop has opened with a call to equip urban communities with usable and timely early warning weather information A Ministry of Green Economy and Environment Permanent Secretary Drought says enhanced access to weather information will help in reducing risk disasters in disadvantaged communities. Lakson Makosa gives us more in this report.
The advent of climate change has left many urban communities vulnerable to severe weather events such as flooding. In an effort to reduce the risk faced by urban communities in the wake of adverse weather conditions, government has called for equipping disadvantaged communities with usable, accurate and timely weather information so as to enable them to make informed decisions. Ministry of Green Economy and Environment Permanent Secretary Drought says there is need to expand access to weather information as this is crucial in cushioning communities from the adverse impact of climate change such as flooding. Dr. Chibamba said this when he officially opened the early warning for Southern Africa co-production and testbed 2 preparatory co-design workshop.
By a crucial initiative under the Weather and Climate Information Services, WISA in short, early warning for Southern Africa project. This project, led by the National Center for Atmospheric Science and the Investor League, aims at enhancing access to weather and warning systems, benefiting communities across Southern Africa.
Weather and Climate Services for Africa focal person says they're now casting weather forecast as the potential to prevent human loss related to weather hazards as communities will have access to satellite data 24 hours.
The initiative is very vital, more especially in the meteorological services. So we are looking at enhancing the delivery of meteorological services in short time basis, where we are looking at producing forecasts in 2 hours time. That is between 0 to 6 hours.
Weather and Climate Services for Africa project has placed end users of the weather information generated using the nowcasting at the center.
Users, and that's really important to us because users are critical in weather and climate information. We can have really great information, but if users are not receiving that information, if they're not understanding it, and if they're not able to use it, then it's not effective in reducing risk. So we wanted our name to reflect the importance of users and their centrality in our process.
The early warning for Southern Africa co-production and testbed 2 preparatory co-design workshop has brought together weather forecasters from South Africa, Mozambique and Zambia. For ZANIS.
The news continues, and now Chama District Administration has noted with gratitude the diverse activities by cooperatives in the area who are engaging in multiple sustainable ventures. And District Administrative Officer Willie Sinkamba said during the harvesting of tomatoes at the Youth Center that government is pleased to see sustainability by youths through the Transforming Landscapes for Resilience and Development Project Tralad. Details in this report.
Transforming Landscapes for Resilience and Development Project Drought, whose objective is to improve natural resource management in northern region of Zambia. In Chama District, the project has empowered and supported 50 sub-projects, and a cooperative has impressed government for remaining viable and active despite the closure of the project.
We are here at the Chama Youth Multipurpose Cooperative, where we've come to witness harvesting of tomatoes. This project, as alluded to earlier by the District Operations Officer, started way back in 2020, of course funded by the government and the World Bank on the project Drought. So we are happy as government that we are seeing sustainability here happening despite closure of the project, but at least we are able to see that the cooperative is still viable and kicking. As we have seen, they are now harvesting tomatoes. To them, they are saying the portion that was cultivated is very small, so they want to increase, and that is a plus on part of us. So, seeing that the project again has kicked, the project again is ticking, We are just encouraging the community that they shouldn't lag behind, but they should continue working hard. The government is seeing. Other projects have failed. Other projects have closed, but this project has continued. So it is a lesson to other projects that are not doing well to emulate from what
the project manager is happy with the cooperative's performance.
Project, we are happy with the results and how the communities are benefiting out of the funding that they received. And this project was funded in 2020. There were challenges here doing a small portion and whatnot, but now we are able to see the big garden area. They are able to produce a lot of tomatoes and take to the markets, which makes us as a project very happy, and we are so confident that the project is sustainable because this won't just end here. They'll keep on doing these activities. And we look at also the climate change. Most communities that we work with have been complaining of not having enough rains. And this
cooperative chair lady is grateful.
Bano kukafani katwa 2020 mkatwa mputukamba ulima hii vintu nomba kumasinda paji kitanga cha nomba palero mputuona utuita viki tuona mopindu ya hii vintu tukimona hapa nomba hapa maita nyamua hii tomato tutayabira hapa tukutanguti mboma kwa gusita longa kuna into boxer imua ya mwaona hii pata gulisa kandama ka tutaviki tugana kadokadoki kwa ipa vula ikaloka makora cha nomba mwekaloka makora kandama ka tugana tutandika kuvichi kuchakulia ndio pindi ya vichi ya nyemuona hapa lembo tuona wami wa vichi for garden.
Drought project in Chama has benefited men and women in rural communities with funds to implement different livelihood activities in order to avoid exploitation of natural resources. Harriet Chilufya for ZANIS in Chama district of Eastern Province.
Now, Kansanshi Mine Supply Chain Manager Mark Gerard Mvula has pledged to support local businesses and has advised local entrepreneurs to deliver quality goods that are cost-effective to the mine. Mr. Mvula was speaking during the tendering capacity building training for contractors and suppliers in Solwezi. Details in this report.
These are the local contractors and suppliers who are members of the Northwestern Chamber of Commerce, Trade and Industry, undergoing a tendering capacity building training with support from Kansanshi Mine in Solwezi District. Kansanshi Mine Supply Chain Manager Mark Gerard Mvula says the mining company stands ready to do business with the locals.
If you are doing business and you can bring a product closer to the mine does not have many other options other than to buy from you. One, you have reduced the lead time. Then the next one is obviously the cost at which you can buy something. So the idea obviously for the mine is that as we are operating here in Solwezi, there must be a trickle-down effect to the operation that allows the surrounding community to do what to benefit and the community to begin to flourish.
And the trainer, Besi Umweni, explains why procurement in Zambia has become a topic issue.
If you look at the national budget, between 20 to 60% is spent on the procurement of goods and services. Go to the mines and of course other entities to realize that there's a huge chunk of money that is spent on procurement of goods and services. Now, to ensure that these goods and services are provided to government and of course the private sector, we need supply chain participants, we need supply chain partners, and these supply chain partners are yourselves. If you are part of the supply chain, you must have the ability to be able to respond to the needs of government, to respond to the needs of the mines.
The chamber president, Kayula Lombanya, says the training has given SMEs an opportunity to strengthen their businesses, with participants also appreciating the gesture.
That in business you have to pay attention to detail. In business you don't take things for granted. I know there are so many things that we've been missing out as business people when we're tendering, when we're quoting, and that is why it's very important to have such a platform so that you can know and see how best your business can be able to thrive.
Emma Zulu reporting for ZANIS News in Solwezi District, Northwestern Province.
Now, in Western Province, about 10,000 households in Mitete district of Western Province that were severely affected by the dry spell in the previous farming season have received drought response emergency cash transfer funds. Let us take a look at this.
Government has continued implementing interventions aimed at responding to the effects of the dry spell experienced under the 2023-2024 farming season. One of such interventions is the drought response emergency cash transfer, being implemented in 84 districts that were severely hit by the drought. And in Mitete district, 10,952 vulnerable households have benefited from the program.
Following the drought spell that we experienced in the previous farming season, government came up with a program called the Drought Response Emergency Cash Transfer, aimed at mitigating the impact of the drought on vulnerable households. We want to extend our appreciation to government for responding so quickly to the needs of our people. As district administration, we are also appealing to the beneficiaries to prudently utilize the funds.
And the implementing authorities hope that the program will improve food security at household level.
We undertook enumeration and the results are out, and so far we have a total number of beneficiaries of 10,952. This money will go a long way in terms of food security as well as meeting other needs.
Meanwhile, the beneficiaries have expressed gratitude to government for the development.
Naitumela pamusol filema shelengi kakubona chibatu bashwatala alinanga twale abalu filema shelengi a twaverekisaka kaswanelo uli azwele pili.
Cosmas Soka, ZANIS in Mitete district, Western Province.
We now take our final break. We will return very soon.
Woman Thou Art is a program that offers counsel to the female folk, sharing real-life experiences and providing guidance to the women and young girls on necessary steps and conducts that will help shape and nurture a sober society. Watch Woman Thou Art on ZANIS TV every Wednesday at 18:30 hours on the Topster channel, channel 6 DTT and channel 458 DTH.
We are back. The news continues. Now, the government has flagged off the distribution of the Food Security Park FSP inputs to 700 vulnerable but viable small-scale farmers in Isoka district in Muchinga province. Isoka District Commissioner Jairo Simbeye flagged off the distribution of the inputs that will enable beneficiaries engage in production of irrigated crops in wetlands. The 2024 to 2025 FSP wetlands distribution marks the first time the district is implementing the wetlands cropping sub-program, benefiting 700 vulnerable yet viable households.
Shanako. Thank you. It is one of the 4 districts benefiting from the government's wetland program, as it is the first time our district is implementing the wetland cropping sub-programs benefiting 700 households. The Ministry of Community Development and Social Services plays a crucial role in poverty alleviation. I want to emphasize that the Food Security Park program is designed to support not only vulnerable households but also those with viable farming potential. We aim to increase productivity and promote self-sustainability within our community. Now, the new Dawn government is firmly committed to economic transformation and empowering the poor to achieve self-sufficiency.
Meanwhile, residents of Chibote community in Pulungu district have appealed to government to help grade the Viamba-Chibote road. And Miteta village headman Charles Chanda says the road leading to Chibote and other communities is in a bad state, making it difficult for farmers to transport their produce. He made the appeal when Northern Province Minister Leonard Mbao visited the area on a tour of developmental projects. Mr. Mbao, who is also a Pulungu Member of Parliament, explains that the local authority has started using the procured earth-moving equipment to maintain the feeder roads. Well, we proceed with the news, and this time around, let us look at health news. Now, Mumbwa District Commissioner Namukolo Hayumbu has castigated health workers at Nalusanga Health Post who last Sunday closed the health facility, leaving patients unattended to. Ms. Hayumbu yesterday stormed the health facility, demanding to know why the health workers abandoned patients. Let us take a look at this.
She has stormed Nalusanga Health Post following a video which has gone viral showing patients sleeping on the floor while others were waiting on benches to be attended to at the health facility, which appears to be abandoned. And Mumbwa District Commissioner Namukolo Hayumbu is not pleased with the situation.
You are about 4 of you here or 5. Now, even if you want to leave, let us make sure there's somebody in the need. We are here to save life, and you are paid for that. You know that even qualified medical doctors, they are just volunteering, working for no coin. And you are employed, you are getting salaries, you don't want to work. What do you want the government to do for you?
The district commissioner echoed the importance of adhering to the nursing ethics.
We are not going to keep you here just because you trained as a nurse, no. We want to keep people who can look after our people here. And that is why we were employed.
Meanwhile, Mumbwa District Health Director Dr. Evaristo Mioba has urged healthcare staff to demonstrate greater commitment to their responsibilities.
I'm also making a call to all the healthcare workers that we have that it is important to ensure that at all times the health facilities are covered so that we don't lose a life. That is the call that we answered to. Ours is a service to the people, and we should ensure that we save the people that we are called to save.
Kru Gasiankuru, ZANIS, Mumbwa.
While still in health news, government has allocated a total of 104,500 doses of the anthrax vaccine to protect livestock from disease in Eastern Province. And Provincial Veterinary Officer Arthur Mumbolomena says this in an interview with ZANIS. Dr. Mumbolomena revealed that the vaccination exercise is targeting a population of about 132,000 livestock.
We are expecting a total of 104,500 doses. And this, when you look, because we are going to vaccinate cattle, goats and sheep. So because of the doses that are given, they are different in cattle and in goats and sheep. In goats, it's half of what you give to cattle. So basically, we have enough vaccine to cover all the cattle, the sheep and the goats, which is about 132,000 in these areas, which are actually along the Ruangwa River, because that's where normally we have a problem of anthrax traditionally. So my appeal also to the farmers is that because of the drought and because of the low of the grass, which is in short supply, and that the animals will be feeding close to the ground, we should also be our eyes, because our officers are not everywhere. It is the farmers that are out there who can quickly alert us in case of something that is observed. Any strange deaths that they are not sure if, they can quickly get hold of our district vet officers and also the province, and then we will quickly respond to whatever is happening out there in the field.
Well, and finally in the news, Monali Member of Parliament Mike Mposha has flagged off works to rehabilitate Kaunda Square Primary School football ground to the Zambian National Service ZANIS. Mposha said the total cost of the first phase of the project is valued at over 2.4 million kwacha, sourced from the 2023 Constituents Development Funds. He said the initiative is part of the broader efforts to enhance sports infrastructure and the constituents for community development and youth's engagement in sports activities. Let us get the details.
The Constituency Development Fund (CDF) is a government financial mechanism used to allocate public funds to constituencies to support local development projects. It aims to enhance service delivery in various sectors such as education, health, agriculture, among others. In Monali constituency, Area Member of Parliament Mike Mposha has flagged off works to rehabilitate the Kaunda Square Primary School football ground into a modern facility at a cost of over 2.4 million kwacha using the 2023 CDF allocation.
We decided to allocate a sum of 2,465,953 kwacha to go towards the first phase of the Kaunda Square Stage 1 football ground works, which will include the construction of the perimeter wall or the boundary wall, but also the improvement of the playing surface. For many years, this football ground has been, as you are seeing here, and now that we are in August, all the dust that is coming from here goes into people's houses, into the whole of Kaunda Square Stage 1. And this is what we want to remedy. First of all, to ensure that we improve the playing surface, and later we should plant the grass here so that we can have a better playing field.
The Zambia National Service ZANIS has been contracted to undertake the works.
Money that will be used towards this project would have been used elsewhere for other developmental needs. But the minister saw it befitting that this project will help the young people of Kaunda Square to improve their skills. So as Zambia National Service, we are truly humbled to be accorded the chance to work with the community and also to help to develop infrastructure for the government.
The development has excited the youths who use the facility for their daily football and other recreational activities.
All as of Kaunda Square, I just want to say we are so happy, we are excited that we can with such projects keep on coming. Because there will be a development, not only the youth, but the nation at large. Because football starts at grassroots level. So if the grassroots level is okay, then we are guaranteed to say the national team in the football globe will be okay.
Myself as a footballer, I really appreciate the ground because it's a tanzira kuna koti na talent nayo. So ngathi pushing ushipa mwamba so cheva kwanza ground.
Earlier, the Monali constituency lawmaker inspected the newly upgraded Simon Mwansaka Pwepwe Road, NRDC roads, among others, using the 2023 Constituents Development Fund, which will go a long way in easing mobility for the road users.
Which connects Lusaka Central constituency, Ibex area, into Munali constituency through Mutendere East.
Audrey Kalenga for ZANIS in Lusaka.
Well, that report brings us to the end of the news. And before we finish, we look at the top stories once again. Government clarifies FQM maize transportation. PSMD consults stakeholders on public service examinations. Government distributes anthrax vaccine doses to Eastern Province. Plus ZANIS to rehabilitate Kaunda Square School football ground. Well, that is all we had for you here at ZANIS, and on behalf of the entire production crew, thank you so much for being with us. It has been Margaret Kangwa, and my sign language interpreter has been Imelda Molea. Stay tuned.